everybody? Welcome in once again to another edition of Inside the Lion's Den. As always, I'm Mike Glennon, and we're talking a little volleyball here today as I'm joined by Brooke Farley, our senior setter for our women's volleyball team, coming off a big win against Georgia College on Tuesday night. And even bigger for her, she came away with her 1,000th assist on her career. And so, Brooke, congratulations are in order. It's a fantastic achievement. And now you're in the record books here for a pretty storied program.
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, take us back to that night, and I know we were just talking about it a little before we came on air here. I feel like stats, especially for athletes, are not stuff you're paying attention to on the court. I mean, it's all well and good when you do it, but of course, your biggest goal is to win. You did that, but what does it feel like to have accomplished something like this at a school that's meant so much to you?
It's just crazy to me. I can't even believe I'm in my senior year. I feel like I just got here. But it's been a goal of mine. I haven't really been keeping up with it, but
Fair enough.
to hear that I've achieved that goal and have contributed to this program in such a great way is really fulfilling for me.
I was going to say, we have to shout out Dad, the statistician, right? On his birthday, keeping track of that.
Yes.
Well, going into this year, you mentioned it being your senior year and how time has flown. And of course, you're a part of that senior class that has had a very unique college experience, if you can say that. Going into this year, it finally being a full season again, what has that meant to you as a senior and just as a player in general?
I'm just very grateful that my team has done what needs to happen in order to have a full season, and we've worked really hard and has been extra safe and smart about our decision making.
Yeah.
And because of that, we've earned and deserved a full season. So I'm very grateful for that.
Well, again, earned and deserved are two very good words to be used in that sentence. And, I feel like, maybe for the novice volleyball fan, setting is not necessarily the thought that comes to mind. It's all about scoring and all about process like that. But of course, plays have to develop and it runs through you. So where did you get your inspiration and your style of play, and what made you want to be a setter?
Well, funny story. My mom played college volleyball at Xavier University.
Gotcha.
And pretty much as soon as she knew that I was left-handed, she said, "My daughter's being a setter." So I started playing volleyball in about the second grade. And ever since I was decided as left-handed, my mom was like, "I want you to be the playmaker. I want you to be that left-hand attacker, offensive option as well as a setter, but primarily the playmaker, of course."
Well, you mentioned being a lefty, and I know it's always fun to watch you serve the ball, but, we made a comment about this last night. At the net, it makes you a little more dangerous as a setter with having left-handed because you have full range of that left arm to be able to come over the top. So do you find that it gives you some sort of an advantage?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely an exciting thing when you see a lefty setter, just because it gives them so many more opportunities to be an offensive option at the net as well.
Well, let's talk about this season a little bit. 8 wins now, coming off a big one. And, you're looking at your conference record, 3-2. Those 2 losses were an absolute dogfights. One against Wingate on the road, the other against Catawba on the road. But you guys have been really in every single match. So, looking at what you guys have done so far this season, and now that we take that turn, crazy enough, into the back half of the season, what have you seen from your team, not just you and Lindsay, of course, being the senior leaders of this team, but the younger folks as well?
Oh yeah, I think I've been, of course, I'm so impressed by Lindsay's leadership and performance, but even more so, more impressed with our freshman and sophomore class. They've really been fighting to get time on the court, and they deserve that time on the court. And just seeing our depth on the team and being able to have people come in and be ready to play and help and contribute to our team and to our success. It's been really mind-blowing. And I've seriously never seen this before. And I was so excited to see this because you don't really see a really young team, and I really love it. And it's fresh blood, and I love it so much because they're just so fun. They're all ready to go all the time.
Well, I know you and Lindsay Elmore and of course Abby Kreiser as well are all big character people, and you help the younger crowd buy into this system very early on, and of course that has paid off in droves now with your eighth win coming on Tuesday night against Georgia College. Looking at this team and how it's made up, I mean, what is it that jumps off the page to you in terms of athleticism? I mean, you guys have a lot of athletes, and your roster is pretty deep this year. And so, despite being a very young roster, I have to imagine that depth is comforting for you guys, knowing whatever six are on the floor is going to make an impact.
Definitely. I think one of our most interesting facts is that we are one of the shortest teams in the conference. And so when we play against teams, we might look small, but we are probably the most athletic group of girls I've ever seen. We have ridiculous verticals. Our endurance is really good. We've been able to hang for 5-set matches and we're not even tired. It's like
Sure.
we have so much depth, but we're also, the people on the court are very athletic and the people off the court are very athletic and are always in the game, ready to go.
Well, you mentioned it. You may look small, but you don't play small. That is for sure. You guys play like you're 7 feet tall half the time at the net. Now, again, talk about interesting ways to start a season. You finally get a season back, but then you spend the entirety of the first month of the season on the road. I know that's a unique thing to say the very least, but Coach had told us that it almost brought the team closer together. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah. Some of my favorite memories from the past 4 years have been on the bus rides to and from games. We do some games on the bus. We do karaoke, things like that. We watch movies. So it's definitely drawn us all together just because we are in that one place. And that's become like our little common place, has been on the bus for the past month. So yes, it's definitely brought us together. And now we see home games almost as a gift. So now we're so excited to be home for majority of the month of October.
Well, unfortunately, you got to go back on the road this weekend for 2 quick ones. But the good news is you come back home for 6 straight after that. So, did it feel good to get that win at home? And how much momentum does that take into this weekend? And then obviously coming back home next week?
Yes, you could just feel it, the energy and the excitement being back home. I think it was resoundingly, overwhelmingly excited to be back home, and it was so fun to have a home crowd there as well. But yes, our win yesterday, I think that was a really strong performance on our part, and I think as long as we continue that and maintain that consistency, we'll be doing good this month.
Well, I will say it was a lot of fun to be on the call for that one last night. Of course, we mentioned it on the broadcast, did Coach Price and I, about how much energy you guys came out of the locker room with. So we're excited to be back on the call for some volleyball coming up here as this month progresses on. Of course, best of luck this weekend, and the biggest of congratulations on your 1,000th assist coming this past Tuesday. So thank you so much for joining us. And again, congratulations. And I know you guys are in the thick of things, but we're watching you all the way.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, have a good one, Brooke. That's going to do it for another Inside the Lions Den right here on the Queen Sports Network. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom. Follow us across all our social media platforms at Queens Athletics, including the newest TikTok platform as well. And make sure you come back and join us for all the newest content. For Brooke Farley, I'm Mike Glennon. Go out and enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, go Royals.